My name is JC. This is Gary, and welcome to the Weekly Tangent. Today, we're going to be talking about social media, how we are the products now, and what it has turned into from when it began.
Social media feels normal now. We wake up, check Facebook, scroll TikTok, look at Instagram, watch YouTube, maybe see what people are saying on X, and we don't even think twice about it. But if you go back to the mid 2000s, this whole thing was still new. MySpace was huge. Facebook was just starting to grow. YouTube was becoming the place where anyone could upload a video. Twitter came shortly after and changed how fast information could spread. Back then, social media felt more personal. It was about customizing your page, picking your top friends, uploading random pictures, finding music, connecting with people. Today in 2026, it is a way it is way bigger than that. Social media helps shape politics, news, business, culture, public opinion, and even how people see themselves. But there is another side to it too. User data. Every like, click, search, watch, pause, comment, and share can tell these platforms something about us. That information is valuable and it raises the question, are we using social media or is social media using us? So we're going to go back to the mid 2000s, which is about the social media boom. MySpace launched in 2003. It became one of the first massive social networking platforms. It was huge in music, youth culture, and personal profiles. Facebook launched shortly after that in 2004, originally for college students before expanding out to public. YouTube launched in 2005 and made video sharing simple for regular people. Twitter followed in 2000 and helped create the fast, short form, real time update culture we see today. Back then, social media felt like you were building your own little corner of the internet. Your profile had personality. People cared about your profile songs, custom backgrounds, top friends, and who commented on that. It was social, but it did not feel as controlled by algorithms yet.
Now, back when those first came out, it'd be the size of this garage. Now we have 10 times the computing power in our pocket. Now I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
So you want things to go back how they were? The 90s?
That'll never happen. That'll never happen. So, yeah, cool. It's a fun thought, but it'll never happen. It's the same as with prices and inflation. Shit's never gonna go down. It's just gonna stay what it is. We're gonna get used to it, and it's gonna go up even more. I think there should be a little bit more checks and balances in place. Who's gonna watch over that? And how do we know that's not gonna get corrupted? Who's gonna be running it? How are they not gonna be corrupt?
I mean, that's true, and that's a fair point. So the original idea was connecting people. Over time, it became about keeping people on the app as long as possible. Do you think all the social media giants in the tech industry forces people to stay on the app?
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%.
Well, let
You
me
look
ask.
you look at it's all an addiction thing. The fancy colors popping up an ad that will try and catch your attention because they're getting all your cookies and everything else from your Google searches or whatever it may be, or it's even whatever you just happen to think that day. It's like, "Wow, now I'm getting an ad for this."
So social media companies make money mainly through advertising. The longer the user stays on the platform, the more ads they can be shown. Notifications became more aggressive, content became shorter, faster, and more addictive. Today, platforms do not just show us what our friends post, they decide what content will keep us watching, reacting, arguing, or coming back. So before, Facebook used to be posts were as they came in. Now Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, you actually see this in the movie The Social Network, if you ever watched it, where it's about Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg actually came out and said that the movie sucks, but it's because it's about him and he doesn't like it. But it tells a different side of him that people don't want to see. But when he invented the news feed, that's when he invented the algorithm. And it'll curate posts. So that's why sometimes you may not see your friends' posts, but you'll see other posts over that who you engage with more. At what point did social media stop becoming about friends and start being about attention?
When did Instagram become a thing?
Early 2010.
That was probably one of the final nails in that coffin of the beginning of the end, I guess.
I never jumped on I had an Instagram once, but I never jumped on the bandwagon of it.
I have one, but it's mostly just for my funny reels that I like to watch. But am I using it to keep up with anybody? No, not really. And I'm old. I still use Facebook, scroll on that, see what kind of white trash shit is going on around town that can make me laugh.
So I'll give you a little insight. Obviously, it's no secret to you that I make apps. I made that app for kids' bedtime stories, Nightlight Tales. Told Christina actually this morning, that I don't think it's a viable business model because it's a very niche app.
Yes and no, I guess.
I mean,
There's
how do I get people to keep coming back to the app when they could use AI to make a bedtime story for their kids, with their kids being the hero of the story?
how many people are gonna think to use AI versus there's this app.
I'm using AI to make the story.
Well, yeah, but you're a fucking nerd. Am I wrong?
I mean, no, but
Is the average person
actually, do you
streaming?
know that YouTube became the most watched streaming platform over Netflix?
Believe it. I believe it. I was never a quote unquote YouTube kid that much as a kid, I guess.
I mean, fuck, I never thought I'd pay for fucking YouTube Premium, but I pay for YouTube Premium.
Well, I do too because I watch videos at work and work with my hands and
Aren't you supposed to
can't
be at
always.
aren't you supposed to be working when you're at work?
No, fuck 'em. I'm gonna entertain myself while I build their shit, but it's always alright, find a good video to watch, get into what I'm working on, boom, it hits you with an ad. And then there's those really shitty times where it'll hit you with a 5-minute ad. Then you're just forced to sit there and listen to the fucking ad if you can't go over to your phone and skip the ad.
I'm gonna hit you with this. Meta reported that it's family of apps. So Meta is the company that owns Facebook. That's
Mhm.
what he turned it into. They own Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, because Messenger became its own thing, WhatsApp, and others. They had about 3.58 billion daily active people on an average in December of 2025. The
Because
statistic
isn't
doesn't state.
WhatsApp, uh, don't a lot of non-American countries use that for communication?
India likes to use it to scam people a lot. You get a lot of
Now, what's
Indian
the point
scammers.
of WhatsApp? Is it just another
End-to-end encrypted messaging. It's like a messenger
okay, and you can do an encrypted
message.
yeah,
I
on
mean,
Messenger,
you don't
right?
have to do anything special. The message is already encrypted. So
What
when you send a message,
so
it's
what is
encrypted.
an encrypted message? Explain to me what that is because I'm just a dumb welder and I don't know any of this shit.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you this example. Say you're at a coffee shop, and say you connect to the coffee shop's public Wi-Fi because it's
Mhm.
free, and they have it open, and a lot of places do that. And say you're doing your thing on the computer, you're on your phone, whatever. This is why a lot of websites use HTTPS. Have you ever noticed you have when you go to a website, it always says in the beginning HTTPS. A lot of websites used to use HTTP. It is a very unsecured protocol. And the reason why they moved to the S at the end is because it's supposed to be secure. It means it's encrypted. The traffic end to end is encrypted. So we're going to go back to the coffee shop scenario. You're at the coffee shop, you're connected to the public Wi Fi. Now, here I am in the back corner of the coffee shop in my black hoodie with my hood up, and I have my laptop out. Not really. Now, say I pull up an application. We'll use Wireshark, for example. Wireshark is an application that a lot of pen testers and hackers and shit use and other people use, and that way that they can see what happens on the network. It basically allows them to scan the network and see the traffic. You can, like if I was to pull up Wireshark on my laptop right now, I could show you my router communicating with all my devices a million times a second right now. Basically, the router saying, "Hey, I got this traffic. I'm trying to send it to IP address 192.168.0.1." That's the router's IP address. But for this example, say it's a computer. The computer's going to shout out, "Hey, that's me. Send it to me." Router's going to say, "Okay, here it comes," and it's going to send it to them. Now I can see that with Wireshark. But you could also see with Wireshark on encrypted traffic. So if you're not using encryption, if the what you're sending to the internet is not encrypted, basically turned into garbage data, then I could see it. So say you logged into Facebook on that public Wi-Fi, I would then be able to see your username and password show up on my computer using that program.
Are you only able to see if I'm on Facebook, my info for my Facebook? Or let's say, so if I have,
If you're connected to that Wi-Fi network and I'm also connected to that Wi-Fi network and I'm scanning, I can see everything. Anything you visit until you disconnect.
so let's say I have my banking app on my
Yep.
phone. Let's say while I'm at the coffee shop, I'm browsing Facebook, watching YouTube, I'm on Instagram, all the main social media
I could even
apps.
see what you're looking at
Okay.
because
So
as the server, because when you send the request to the router then broadcasts that out and then it'll send it to the internet. Then it'll try to send it back. So there's this send and receive function going on.
And you're grabbing it.
And I'm in between you and the router, and I'm grabbing it, and I'm looking at it. So if you was to go to an unencrypted website, which 99% of websites on the internet now, it's the standard to use HTTPS. You can't get a website anymore without HTTPS. And if you try to, most modern browsers will yell at you, and it'll block it. They won't let you go to your website. If you have it,
Just like a built-in safety feature.
pretty much, it'll show up and block it and say, this website is not secure, go away. And a lot of users who don't know how to get past it don't know how, and then they'll just go away, and then you won't get any traffic to your website. Most website providers nowadays, if you have a domain, you have a website, you're running a website, you're going to have HTTPS. It used to cost a lot of money to get a certificate. Now there's free ways. I mean, it's pretty much like the gold standard and everything. But that's essentially, in a nutshell, like a long way around it, encryption. So you send data to the internet. Before it gets to the internet, your device will encrypt it. When it gets to the internet, so there's this thing where they agree on a shared key. So you'll have a private key on your device. The internet has its own key, and then they have a shared key. Shared key, everybody can see the shared key, but nobody can see your private key. If they see your private key, that's bad, because then they could decrypt your traffic, and it's secured. The encryption is broken, obviously. So the only way that it can get decrypted is between where it's supposed to go. So in the sense of WhatsApp, you send a message. The message before it gets to WhatsApp is encrypted. Then it goes to WhatsApp, and WhatsApp does what it does with it, sends it to you. Your device then unencrypts it, and then you see the message. WhatsApp can't see the messages either, so they claim. They say that it's end-to-end encrypted, and they're probably telling the truth.
Bullshit. You
Do I
believe that?
do I believe the lizard man? No, I don't.
Oh.
Everybody thinks Mark Zuckerberg is a lizard.
I believe him about as far as I can fucking throw him.
So he claims that WhatsApp is, end-to-end encrypted. And same with Messenger too. All your Messenger chats are also end-to-end encrypted. They can't see shit. Is what they say. And anybody who's listening in the middle also can't see shit.
Now, what happens if I'm just on mobile data? Nothing. No one can see that.
Your cell provider.
Well, they can see everything anyway.
That's why a lot of people use VPNs. VPNs do the same thing.
Now, what is you have one, right?
What?
A VPN.
I have multiple.
Multiple.
Yeah.
Now, what is the benefit of a VPN? Because I see all the ads on YouTube.
Well, a lot of people use a VPN for nowadays is to get stuff that they can't normally get. So like sometimes like you'll see shows on Netflix and then they'll go away because Netflix loses the rights to those shows. But Netflix still retains the rights to those shows in other countries. They might lose it for the United States, but they have it in Canada. So then you could get a VPN, change your VPN server to one in Canada. A major one that a lot of people use is NordVPN. Joe's not sponsored by NordVPN, by the way, but we are open to sponsorships if you're listening. Nord. Anyway, so you have NordVPN. You could change your server to Canada, and then now all of a sudden you're getting Canada stuff because it looks like you're in Canada, but you're really in the United States.
Now, do you get a piece of hardware with that you gotta plug all your stuff into?
No, it's just an app.
Just an app?
Just an app on your phone, or if you want to do it for your whole network, because a lot of places will allow you to set it up through your routers, but a lot of people just use it on their phones or their tablets. I run a VPN called TwinGate. It's a service like a cloud VPN provider, and I run it on my server in there that you've seen. And then that allows me to, if I have the app running on my phone, it'll allow me to connect back to my network. So I could be at work on my data network, but if I have the VPN on, it'll basically make it look like I'm sitting at home, and then which will route my traffic through my server and then route it to the internet. And then that allows me to use my service that I use, which is Pi-hole, which is how I block ads and porn and shit. So I don't want the kids fucking
Yeah.
finding out about Pornhub or anything like that.
Yeah, we don't need them finding out about Two Girls, One Cup and LemonParty.com and all that fun stuff that we were on the internet looking at in elementary school because the internet was a wild place. Still fucking is.
So here's a crazy statistic. Social media is also a major news source now. In 2024, they found that 54% of U.S. adults at least sometimes get news from social media. How do you feel about that?
True. I mean, anybody that says they don't see something from a news outlet or a heavily followed person, channel, page, whatever it may be, that posts something either in the news or something pop culture or whatever it may be. That's how you stay in the know now. But the problem with that is how much of that is just bullshit. Because growing up, parents always said, don't believe everything you see on TV. Don't believe everything you see on the internet. Well, how come now, 10, 15 years later, it seems like everybody believes every damn thing they see on the internet? Does that make sense? I wonder just how much of it is actual just bullshit propaganda, just flood the market, and that way no one knows what is actually going on.
Social media gave regular people a voice. A small business could advertise needing a huge budget without needing a huge budget. A creator like us right now making a podcast could build a following from nothing. Families could stay connected. People could find communities they never had access to before. Movements, charities, missing person alerts, disaster updates, local issues could spread fast. Also, for someone like me building apps, businesses, and ideas, social media could be powerful. It gives regular people a way to promote something without needing permission from a big company. Do you feel like there's a good side to social media?
Absolutely. There's good things to a lot of things, but there's also bad things to a lot of things. It's in moderation, plain and simple. Should you be on social media from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed? No, absolutely not. The screen time is what is killing a lot of the minds that are supposed to be coming up in the world today, I feel. They don't need the instant gratification of scrolling to a new video every 2 seconds because, this one just didn't feel right. This one didn't hit. This one didn't hit. Cool. This one looks cool.
So, do you think that social media is a big contributing factor to mental illness in the world?
Yeah, 100%. But also, see, I've thought about this. The amount of people that are just nihilistic, and nihilistic means just seeing, you think your glass is half empty all the time. You don't see the positive in anything, negative all the time. How much of that could be changed if a person just changed their algorithm? Because scrolling through Instagram one day, it'll show you 20 reels in 10 minutes of some really fucked up shit, or it could be funny videos, or it could be political stuff. And if you just change your algorithm to where it feeds you a majority of, it doesn't need to be happy-go-lucky things, but positive things, constructive things, things that make you think that not everything is just a pile of shit, you know? What do you think?
Well, not recently, for a while now, I deleted TikTok. I deleted TikTok right around when the US banned TikTok for a little bit.
I never had TikTok.
And I'll tell you what, so much better. TikTok, I spent a lot of time just fucking
Doom scrolling.
one after the other.
Well, that's what I do on Instagram now.
I mean,
I
now,
never used Instagram for Reels up until probably the last 6 months, 7 months, because I just never went on it. I always thought Instagram was still just people posting what they fucking ate for lunch or whatever. I was like I said, I was on YouTube or Facebook, just watching whatever the fuck Facebook had, and I'd see a funny video, I send it to my wife, and she'd say, "I saw that on TikTok 3 weeks ago." Like, well, I'm fucking seeing it now, and it's still funny, so fuck you.
I used to doom scroll a lot. Christina still doom scrolls on TikTok. Fucking mind numbing, I'll tell you what.
Mm.
But after I stopped, now I fuck with Facebook Reels a lot, but that's kind of garbage content, to be honest with you. Facebook Reels is not what TikTok is. It was basically Facebook's way of trying to like murder TikTok. Because Facebook, their business model is either buy it, copy it, or kill it. So that's why they bought Instagram, because they didn't want the competition. Facebook does not want the competition. They want you using Facebook. They don't like to share. So that's why they bought Instagram. They tried to buy Snapchat. Snapchat wouldn't sell to them. Facebook actually was doing some dirty shit, trying to like steal their traffic to like see like what people were using on the app to like make their app better. So that way people would use Facebook more instead of Snapchat. Like I said, they were trying to kill it because they couldn't buy it. They tried to buy it, I think twice.
Well, and that kinda touches back on the saying social media being addictive. I mean, in this day and age, everything has a fucking science behind it. Like I said, the ads popping up when they do, your feed's curated to how it is. That's just everything has a scientific formula behind it to keep your attention. Hell, McDonald's being red and yellow, that is scientifically proven to make you fucking hungry. Little fun fact, the communist countries use red and yellow too, but they don't have no fucking food.
Oh, Well, spicy. Well, spicy take there.
Spicy bastard.
Well, I mean, that goes back to me saying, "No, I built that app, Nightlight Tales." I'm trying to push it on social media. I even asked you guys to fucking push it for me. You know why? So I can get an ROI. There's a premium subscription model on Nightlight Tales. I built it so that way a free user could only make 3 stories a month on the free plan. That way they'd be forced to buy a premium membership, so I make money. Everything on the internet costs money. It either costs money to run and you don't make shit, and why do something if it doesn't make you money? Or you build it and it makes you money, or it doesn't make you money and you end up losing money anyway. So I told Christina that's a bad business model. It's a very niche, niche app because again, who the fuck reads bedtime stories to their kids anymore? Nobody. It's Disney Plus. There's a fucking tablet.
Yeah, yeah, unless you can get that app on a tablet
I mean, you can't.
into where you can get the kid to interact with it themselves without needing mom and dad.
Yeah, but the kid's not going to buy the premium membership.
Unless they do, because how many parents accidentally have their card hooked up to the tablet?
True, but there was still they would ask them parents for the card. Now it's just how it works that way, unfortunately. But that's the other thing, though. I'm not a fucking slimy greaseball, you know. I just build cool shit because I thought it was cool and I thought it was helpful, you know. That's why there is a free version of Nightlight Tales actually that doesn't cost anything. It's actually just 100% free, but you can only use it if you have a brand new iPhone, and because you have to run Apple's local AI mod, so that's why it's free. And there's no server that I have to run. It's all done locally on the device. So there is a free version, but it limited my user base. So the new one that I made, anybody can use it because it's a website, but it runs like a mobile app.
Seems like the one that can only run on new iPhones that have the newest operating system. That just seems like you're shooting yourself in the fucking foot
Well, that was the first one I made. That was like,
with trial run.
yeah. And like I said, it doesn't cost me anything. It's free. I mean, the only thing it really costs me is the $100 a year that I have to pay to have a developer account for Apple. That's it. But the whole idea of making the second version, because it does cost money to run, is to make the money back, actually make more money back.
That's usually how business goes. You wanna make more than you spend.
Problem though is that, like I said, fuck's gonna use it. I pushed it all last week. I pushed it sometime a little bit this week. Pushed it in random fucking groups on Facebook that I just joined and said, "Here's an app, try it." I got one sign up, and the person didn't even buy a premium membership.
Do you expect him to?
Made one story and then didn't use it again. I checked the analytics.
What's the story about?
His daughter at some underwater fucking adventure.
That sounds fun.
I mean, yeah, for that person. I mean, shit, you guys didn't even download it or use it or create an account. You pushed it for me. I appreciate that. Nobody, they're like, oh, that's cool. What am I going to do with that?
Nah, I guess you're right. Who's gonna do the birth or the bedtime stories like that?
I mean, it's not
Get it on tablet.
not the 1970s anymore.
Yeah, people aren't using apps like that anymore. I mean, back when we were in high school, the cool apps were fucking Temple Run.
That's the other thing. All the cool ideas have already been done. If you think you have an idea that hasn't been done, it has.
No, trust me, I know. Everybody's just building different versions of shit that's been done over and over again. It
It's just the
seems.
remake. Just if the point of it is, can you do it better? Can you make it better?
That's where the question lies. You just have to put your money where your mouth is when it comes to your own business or a product or anything like that that you're trying to push on to the masses.
With that being said, social media is free. It's not really free. We pay with attention and data. These platforms collect our information that we post, we watch, we like, who we message, what device we use, where we are, what ads we interact with, sometimes even activity across other websites and apps. FTC released a report in 2024 saying large social media and video streaming companies engage in vast surveillance of users with weak privacy controls and not enough protection for kids and teens. Also, the FTC recommended limits on data retention and sharing, restrictions on targeted advertising, and stronger youth protection. The Electronic Frontier Foundation also argued that social media platforms collect data not only from their own apps, but sometimes from users' activity across the web, making it hard for people to avoid being tracked.
Do you really believe that these measures will be put in place actually followed? Or do you think it's just what they're going to say while still having the backdoor access to? anything they want for anybody that actually has the knowledge or the skills to do so.
Played the video game Watch Dogs before? No? A game where the world is interconnected by the internet and technology runs rampant through the world, and basically you got big tech at the top. They control the world, and then you got video game. But I see what you're saying. We're heading in that direction, especially with AI and data centers all over the fucking place trying to get built. I look at shit going on, and I'm a tech guy. And I look at this shit, and I'm like, I don't know if I want that.
Well, it's not only data centers and all that. Not only is it just going to be a big warehouse of stealing our shit, but also the drain on the natural resources, the land that it takes up, the water that it
Oh yeah,
uses.
it's gonna drain the lakes.
They've talked about putting how many here in Michigan?
Quite a few.
One by the airport, one up north by the base, and I'm pretty sure the one by the base got rejected because the people in town pitched a bitch big enough where it's not going to happen anymore.
You feel about social media companies selling our data to ad networks?
Everybody's got to make money somehow. Do I like being the product? No, not really. Is the general person going to give a shit enough where something actually happens? No, not really. Probably not.
Australia passed a law in December 10th, 2025, banning users under 16 from major social platforms like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, with major fines for companies that fail to comply. Also, other countries in Europe, Asia have been considering or developing similar restrictions. Do you feel like those restrictions would help?
Kids are going to get in no matter what. If a kid wants to get onto YouTube or Facebook, they're gonna.
I mean, shit, when we were kids,
Exactly.
fucking what Facebook said you had to be how old to join the site, and people were putting their birthday as 1974.
Yeah, so that's why I got friends now that I graduated high school with that their Facebook says they're 65 years old. Happy birthday, you old bastard.
I mean, I remember doing it. Facebook said, "Oh, you're too young to make an account," so I just changed the birthday year.
Not hard to get around these things, and they know that. Everybody knows.
Looking forward, social media is probably going to become even more connected with artificial intelligence, shopping, politics, personal identity, AI generated posts, fake videos, voice cloning, deep fake bot accounts may make it harder to know what is real. Social media may become even more personalized, where everyone sees a different version of reality based on their data. Ads may become less obvious and more blended into the creator content recommendations and AI assistance. Privacy may become a bigger selling point too. Some platforms may offer a paid ad free version or privacy focused options. TikTok has already been reported to be launching an ad free paid subscription in the UK, primarily tied to privacy and consent rules around personalized advertising. Will the future of social media give users more control, or will it just get better at tracking us?
Better at tracking us.
How do you feel about AI and all the fake shit in the world?
I don't trust that either.
Do you think
Does it have its benefits? Yes. Like I said earlier, a lot of things can be used for good things. Too much of it, or it can just be corrupted. How do we know that? I mean, I just sound like a crazy fucker, but I don't trust the shit. I really fucking don't. I really fucking don't. Maybe it's just because I watched Terminator too young of an age, man. I don't trust Skynet, not one fucking bit.
do you think AI is gonna take over the world?
Fucking A, I do.
Do you think
Skynet.
do you think we're going into an iRobot or Terminator situation?
Terminator, damn right. Where's Sarah Connor?
What was the first social media platform you really remember using? Was it Facebook?
Yeah. Probably back in like 2011, 2012.
Did it feel more real back then than it does now?
It felt smaller because I was more naive, even though it's still just as open. Might have been even more open back then, you know?
When did social media stop being fun and start feeling like a job or an addiction?
Uh,
'Cause I'll tell you right now, when I get up for work in the morning, first thing I do is check Facebook. I used to do that back in school when I was a kid. I'd grab my little PSP before I actually had a phone and check Facebook.
well, I know for me, my schedule is get up, get out the door by 3:30, at work by 4, and for the first 15, 20 minutes of the day at work is sitting there scrolling on my phone, catching up on the night's notifications, Snapchat, what happened on Facebook, or anything like that. Then get on with my day. I'm not one of those people that As soon as I wake up, I'm grabbing my phone and scrolling before I get out of bed. On the weekend, maybe, but usually it's get up and do something.
Would you pay for social media if it meant less tracking and fewer ads?
Probably.
You
If
would
it wasn't an astronomical fucking price,
say $14.99 a month.
I would probably have to cut something else out.
So you would pay for Facebook?
For Facebook, no. For these apps, no. Like per app, no. Maybe for like what is NordVPN or what's the average cost of a VPN a month?
Really don't know. They're mostly cheap. I mean, about 83.43 for the first 27 months.
$84 for 2 years and some change.
That's on the basic plan though. $12.99 a month for a basic. If you want the plus plan, it's about $13.99 a month. Complete plan, $14.99 a month. Prime, $25.99 a month, and that's like the top tier.
That's Nord.
Yeah, that's Nord. Now there's other ones. They have their own pricing model. So what if I built a social media app that made people pay?
People wouldn't. That'd be even smaller than fucking the bedtime stories one.
I know, but you said that you would pay for an app,
Yeah,
right?
but then I also said, well, like you touched on earlier, someone's pretty much already fucking made that, and it's the whole VPN. Why would I pay for a single app to be like that when I can pay for a service that makes my whole device and any other device on my network hidden?
Well, it doesn't make you 100% hidden, but it does hide. Yeah, it does. I mean, I get. Is the algorithm showing us what we want, or is it shaping what we want?
Shaping what we want.
Should kids be banned from social media until a certain age?
Yes.
What age?
16's probably.
Yeah, but their minds are still molding at 16. I mean,
Well,
look at
yeah,
look at you when you were 16.
yeah. I mean, we're all fucking degenerates at 16. I mean, so it's not any better. You're gonna have to scan your ID. How many people did you know that have a fake ID?
What if people just put their phones down? What do you
Would
think the world would look like?
look a lot better. People would stop, smell the flowers, actually pay attention to what the person next to them is doing, acting, not just have their face looking down, not paying attention to the world around them, paying attention to the body language of the people around them, appreciating the little things. It's like, all right, it's an analogy like this. You're always driving. Your wife is always in the passenger seat. You're driving down a route that you've taken 100 times. You know what that route looks like in the driver's seat, upside down, backward. Now you take that drive as the passenger. You're going to see a whole lot more shit that you had no fucking idea was there.
Yeah, I see that. I'm gonna give you an example. Remember how we talked about social media, fucking making mental illnesses and shit? I've been watching this guy on YouTube. I don't remember his name, but he does these documentaries. He does like documentaries that people normally wouldn't touch on. Like he does like documentaries on like porn stars and shit
On the main channel.
on the main channel. Then he started getting donations from creepy fucking white dudes in the United States. Now he's in the UK. Okay. Started getting donations, like big money donations, like $1,000 and shit.
Do stuff on camera.
Yeah. And this person would send him shit, like little fucking like pink shirts and onesies and shit that said like daddy's girl and shit like that. Fully playing into the role that this motherfucker was a boy dressing as a girl, making him call him daddy. Every time he sent him a donation, he'd thank him as thank you, daddy.
Now, was this guy actually gay?
No, not at the time.
Turned him gay?
He'd come out as fucking later in life. Like he full on like embraced the dressing as a girl and became an e-girl.
You
And then
know,
started taking vitamins, pills and shit. And then he come out and said, yeah, I'm trans. And then he started doing OnlyFans.
much of that was just being tainted goods off the fucking jump. You know, obviously that guy has had some fucking problems in his life, and that was one of the outlets that he chose to fucking go with. Obviously, he's got some fucking screws loose, man.
Yeah, it does.
And I think that just exacerbated it. That happened to be his drug of choice, the intention.
Well, now you got fucking people doing OnlyFans.
OnlyFans is one of the deaths of our fucking society.
So if your wife came to you and said that she wanted to do OnlyFans, how would you?
Got kids, man. That shit's online forever. All it takes is one quick fucking Google search. Boom. Your butthole's on Google Images.
Quote from the movie The Social Network. Interesting stuff. Social media started as a way to connect with friends, share music, post pictures, and build a little online identity. Somewhere along the way, it became one of the most powerful forces in the world. It controls what we see, what we talk about, what we buy, who we listen to, sometimes even what we believe. That does not mean social media is all bad. It has helped people build businesses, find communities, share important information, create opportunities that never existed before. But we also have to be honest about the cost. These platforms are not just apps, they are data machines. They learn from us every second we use them. So the question is not just where social media came from. The real question is, where is it taking us next, and whether we will still have control over it or whether it has control over us. With that being said, I think this is a good place to end the show. How do you feel?
I think we've learned that we have to be wary of our online activity. It's always going to be there. Someone's always going to be able to go back and watch it if they're not watching it right then and there. My name's JC,
My name is Gary.
and this has been the Weekly Tangent.
Or also known as regularly scheduled podcast chaos show. I don't know the fucking name. Words are hard. Goodbye. Have a good day.